Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 97 live of Matt and John Make a Podcast. We got a couple topics to talk about. One being NFL, mostly the Steelers and Eagles, and the trade the Steelers made. But the majority of the show today will be wrestling talk, including NXT, the changes going there, and our live experience at AEW Dynamite and the debut of Rampage this past Wednesday and Friday, respectively. And stay tuned to the end. We get a announcement or update on the channel that you want to listen to there. Very important. But first, let's get into the wrestling talk. First on the AEW experience.
Yeah, a really fun time. I did feel like that on Friday last night I felt a lot more fun. The crowd was a lot more livelier, to say the least. Just everything that went down there, which was pretty cool. And a shout out to our buddy Coles who like hooked us up with some like ringside seats there.
Floor seats, but basically
floor side seats there. So we were basically one section up, but we went down for Matt went down and had a few talks, and we got upgraded to some floor seats, which that was pretty cool. And that was, I believe, and I think I said this to you, that was probably our first time that we have actually sat on the floor for a WWE or a
TV show,
right?
Not mine is NXT, a house show,
right?
Or ROH at Dallas, because technically all of the seats were floor seats.
Right.
So I can't count that.
No. So like this was really the first time for that there. So that was all a lot of fun. And just being around that atmosphere. It's just, I can't really compare it to a WWE live event because to be perfectly honest, I just don't think it's a real fair comparison. Just the energy that for like both nights, I just don't think can be really compared right now. It just, everyone's just so emotionally invested into everything that is going on, and like you could really sense that. So like it was just a really fun time, and man, those 2 or 3 hours, they go by really damn fast.
I think yesterday's hours went by fast.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it was slower on Wednesday to get to, I don't know, even though it was less before Dynamite, I wanted to get to Dynamite.
Yeah.
And then after you get Dynamite, then it was still like 40 minutes after. I was like,
they had like, I think like 3 matches after the show went off the air, which honestly I was kind of surprised last night that the show actually ended.
Well, I figured. I think they wanted to get everybody out by 11.
Yeah,
at 11. So I didn't think they were going to do anything.
Yeah,
they did 2 hours before.
Yeah. So yeah, that they did 2 hours of AEW Dark, and man, I mean, like the team or the people who I'd say had the best, who I think had the best reactions of like both nights. Though I'm like Jurassic Express got they blew the freaking roof off of that place there.
We can just assume we're going to talk that. Let's take Britt out, because that's obvious.
I mean
let's take that out.
That's she's excluded because man, like it was like literally every match segment, everyone was starring MD chants and everything. Like she yeah, she is portrayed as a like heel, but I loved how smart that this company was. What was like, hey, don't even bother trying to even like heal up on this crowd. It just wasn't gonna work, because I remember on Dynamite she made a slight dig at the sports teams, and they just did not care whatsoever. They still cheered her. So it's like,
I mean,
yeah,
yeah, it was a dig, but it was like embrace. It was weirdly face
right.
the dig. I mean, it was a shot, but it was like, I am here.
Right.
Look at me.
Right. Yeah. And
it was, if it was like Red Velvet saying it, and you turn around, yes, dig.
oh yeah, oh boy, yeah, and she would have gotten herself booed out.
Right.
And she pretty much did, because pretty much anyone who was going to be going up against
God could have got booed.
Right. It's just, you're not gonna even like, no one's gonna be getting over on her in Pittsburgh there. So,
and I mean, you could have played it. You could have played it off more, like hypothetically saying Pittsburgh's, her saying Pittsburgh's better and everything else, and here's the proof, and we're behind it, and that's almost a hill move for everybody else, like watching. But yeah, it was good. There was no hiding that fact.
No,
covering up the Pittsburgh thing.
Right. And I would say that the show, I mean, definitely Friday show was a lot better.
Yeah, because to me it felt like a mini pay-per-view.
It did. It honestly reminded me a lot of how NXT was, where it's just basically just straight up wrestling building to other like future things. It reminded me a lot of when NXT was just strictly 1 hour there, which was and I mean that time went by really quick. But getting back on for like Wednesday, it wasn't a terrible show by any means, but there was a lot of stuff that was just like didn't really matter. I said the last 45 minutes to me, starting from Britt on, I really enjoyed. Yeah.
And the exception for me out of that first hour and whatever, Darby Allin's match.
Yeah.
Which I enjoyed.
Yeah.
Mainly because we saw Sting too.
Yeah, like and another cool thing too was seeing Darby and Sting on Friday on the like freaking Raptors. Really huge.
Yeah, they
WCW vibes there.
Yeah, that was the cool positive being in the Pete, because I don't know if any other arena has, like, I could be wrong, like those type of rafters, like walkways enough. I guess they all of them kind of do, but I think it just worked out that they could do that.
Yeah, and how like it really just adds for their characters to the whole mystique thing about that. And so that was cool.
Because that was the first time. When was the last time we saw Sting do the rafter thing? Did he do that up in TNA? You really couldn't.
No, he didn't really do. I mean, like he probably had, but I can't think of anything off the top of like my head.
I mean that high up.
Yeah, because I don't even think he even did that when he was in WWE.
No, I'm pretty sure. No.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure it was just that was like he hasn't done that stuff since his WCW days. So that was cool to see. And yeah, I would agree with you. And man, like I just like how AEW does like feature different guys, even for people who aren't officially signed, they at least give them a like platform to try and get themselves over. So that's pretty cool. And Danny Garcia, he had a pretty good showing. Doesn't have a lot of like personality or charisma, but man, he can freaking work. So I was pretty impressed by that. And I know you probably weren't a huge fan of the opener
on Dynamite.
Yeah, on Dynamite, but I had a ton of fun watching that thing there.
Yeah, I wasn't. For me, even though watching it, I was losing track of who was legal. To me, sometimes it gets too crazy.
Right.
Other people be like, "Yay, crazy's good," but
Yeah.
like to me, just the flow. I don't know. It took me out a little bit, and I'm already down on the Young Bucks as it is. But I was trying to be objective.
Yeah.
Same thing with Kenny, and I can and to skip ahead, not to this match with Christian. Maybe before we really get into it, I thought that was, and there was a big nitpick I had for that match, but outside of that,
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Was I think a very enjoyable match of Kenny's. I really did like it. Being there live probably has something to do with it. But we'll get into it.
So yeah, on Dynamite we also had a fourth labor of Chris Jericho, which saw him defeat Wardlow, which you kind of knew that there was going to be some form of shenanigans there, just because obviously they weren't going to be having like Wardlow loose clean, and he powerbombed Jericho. Had to have been
I lost track
6 or 7 times at least.
I wasn't keeping track.
Yeah, like it
was just like
boom. It was just one.
Oh, now I got to go on.
God,
what the hell happened?
What a pain in the ass. But MJF, he gets on the microphone, and
okay, we're good.
Okay. I'm not sure what happened there, but
don't hit the table apparently.
Yeah, so basically for his like fifth labor, Chris Jericho will be facing MJF, but he can't use the like Judas effect, and he can't come out to his entrance theme, which I know for a fact Houston is just gonna be singing him to the freaking ring next week. So
you know what the great heel move would be on MJF's part for everybody at home. They cut the audio, so when they're done singing and when his music comes out, then he turns the audio.
That would actually be like pretty like freaking genius. Actually,
that's what they should do. If I was in charge, I'd be like, okay, he walks out until MJF's music's off. No crowd audio, no just no announcer audio. You just see him coming out,
right?
And I don't know if you could do when the announcer. You can just have the announcer's audio, but you're probably going to hear it enough. I don't know, but that's what I would do. I have people going, "Oh my god, my TV's out!"
Right,
and then all of a sudden, MJF's theme comes.
Right,
that's what I would do if you want to really milk it.
Well, do that. I mean, that would honestly make a lot of sense there, but and I'm kind of surprised that they're having this already and not at the pay-per-view. So interested to see where that's going to go. And speaking of Jericho, he was part of the commentary team for like Rampage, which I heard a lot of people did not really care for him on commentary, which I can understand, because if you have ever heard Jericho on commentary, he's just always screaming on the top of his freaking lungs.
I think I think maybe like a match, I think people tolerate more. But obviously we didn't hear it because we were there.
Since we were there.
But yeah, I would have to hear it for the whole show. 'Cause
Yeah,
I didn't record it.
I mean, like he definitely brings energy. He brings good like
If he does,
knowledge and
yeah.
stuff.
If,
But
depending, I don't know
Yeah.
how much he yelled consistently, but
Well,
if
if
he did
it's
it
like-
once in a while, fine.
and no, like typically when he is on commentary, he
I'm
pretty
trying
much
to
does.
remember.
He pretty much
I'm
does.
trying to remember back when I
Yeah,
heard it before.
like he's pretty much doing that 24/7, which can be a problem, especially for someone who's just trying to focus in, like it just constantly, like just like tone it down just a tad.
Did anybody say about the 4-man besides Jericho? Like, how did that work out?
They said like Henry sounded pretty good when like he did talk, but it's just like four-man commentary teams are just way too much.
Because I'm surprised I didn't see anything about that in
Right.
general. I saw this morning Jericho
Yeah.
specifically, yeah.
Well, and especially too for how big of those personalities be between like Jericho, Taz, and like Mark Henry. Is like it's hard to really feature all of these people, and when you also have Excalibur who's trying to call the actual action there. So it's
I would have just Excalibur, Henry, Taz.
Yeah, I would too, honestly, or like have a like Mark Henry as just strictly as a like a interviewer or something like that, like what he did with like Britt and like Velvet.
Yeah, but I mean,
well,
they did have him walk away and do stuff backstage.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
he was
essentially turns it into 3.
Yeah.
I would have 3 and then essentially have it in the 2.
Right.
Like, because I really just noticed when on Dynamite during the I forget what during a match, I forget what's match or segment, you can already see Tony off to the side, so it essentially turned into a 2-man booth, which at home you probably don't notice.
No, not as much, but
minus
and
Tony,
like
but
and he was up like at least 2 or 3 times during that time because he had the segment with like Britt, and he also had the segment with QT, which saw the return of like Paul White, who looks like is going to be getting back in the ring soon. So
well,
so now I'm getting into like Rampage. Holy crap, that opener between Kenny Omega and Christian Cage was fantastic. That crowd energy was just, it was insane. Like, I can't really describe to you how into that match that everyone was around us. And going into this, I didn't really know where they were going to go, because to me they could have really have gone in either way there, you know.
I had a strong feeling that Christian somehow was going to win, mainly because of anytime there is like a new show, a debut of something, let's say just for like WWE, for instance, like if SmackDown, we could say this more because they've moved channels multiple times, debuts on a new channel or whatever. Usually there's a big things, something big happens. There's a big, at the very least, a big match advertised to get people hooked in, or a title change. Look, when we went to Raw, when they first split, Sasha won women's championship, Finn Balor, like something big always happens. So I looked at the 3 matches advertised. I looked, Britt, they would be suicidal to have Britt lose. No. Red Velvet ain't gonna beat Britt.
And even if we weren't in Pittsburgh, there was no way in hell that they were taking that title.
But based on the scenario at hand, debut of Rampage.
Right.
Mira's not going to lose to El Fuego. I just misspelled whatever. But it doesn't matter.
Fuego,
Fuego, whatever. So the only logical thing would be Christian beating somehow by hook or by crook,
which is exactly what happened.
What happened with Kenny, who has every freaking title.
And like this is going to be the start of the downfall of the whole belt collector storyline, because I'm pretty convinced now that they're probably arguably doing Kenny versus Hangman at the Arthur Ashe show on September 22nd. There's, which I think that would mark the end of Kenny as far as his whole character and storyline goes, because he's facing Andrade tonight in like Mexico, which I fully expect him to drop his like AAA title there. So that's probably is happening, and you're just going to see him just slowly go and become more and more paranoid there. So that's going to be really interesting to see there. But if I had to guess, your one nitpick was with the ref being
distracted for like 5 hours. Yes.
Yeah.
If they would have done stuff quicker, because I'm sitting there and I'm looking at Baby Hebner and I'm like I try to think, okay, sometimes we throw like reality out, but like after a while,
it didn't help too with the Bucks. They were taking their sweet ass time.
They're like
guys, just hurry up and get the freaking chair in there.
But unless if you would have immediately did the low blow, I forget what set up the Young Bucks come out. Christian hits the what's he call it now?
The kill switch.
Kill switch. I wanted to say unprettier, but I know it wasn't that. But it's
a kill switch.
But Kenny took a hell of a bump on that chair. He sold it like
sure did.
The replay. Besides the taking a bus to waiting for a bus to come for the distraction.
Yeah, that was my own.
Yeah, that was just like, come on.
Yeah,
and besides that, I thought that was I liked the way he lost, because chair finisher onto that chair like that. There's no he's not getting. I'm sorry if he gets up, and I would be pissed.
Yeah, and
but I thought that was a good way. The plan, good execution. Weak with the weak point match itself. I thoroughly enjoyed.
I didn't have any problem.
Thoroughly enjoyed that match.
Yeah, it's a great way to start off with this new show. It instantly gives it a ton of credibility to where
maybe my favorite Kenny Omega match I've seen since AEW started, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, it's
very enjoyable.
Yeah, and man, definitely Christian's best match since he has debuted with the company there too. So now he's going to be appearing on Impact now, which is kind of funny because when he signed with TNA back in, I think it was in 2005, he actually won the NWA title and never the actual TNA title there. So this would be kind of a like full circle thing, I guess here. So he's gonna be appearing over there, and I feel like it was time for Kenny to basically wrap up his time with Impact. I just don't feel like he could do anything else over there. He had already feuded with everyone over there at that point. So yeah, that like Forbidden Door is it's a really cool way to try and like feature different guys and stuff. So yeah, and man, that crowd just popped huge for Christian, which was pretty impressive because when he came out, man, he was getting a lot of like boos when he was coming out there.
Was he?
Sure.
I don't remember Booze.
Sure was, but that turned by the end of the match.
I don't remember Booze.
Yeah, so yeah, like that was a really enjoyable opener there, and then we had the TNT title be between like Miro and El Fuego, a nice short squash match. Fuego he got in a like few spots, and then ultimately Miro just beats the living shit out of him, and he retains his TNT title. We still don't really know where things are going with like Miro as far as his opponent for all out. He hasn't been in really any feuds since he's won that title from like Darby Allin. So I do wonder, who they're going to have on face there, because a lot of the baby faces who I'm thinking about, I'm like, well, they seem to be kind of busy now, because I would assume for Darby he's be facing CM Punk at All Out there, with just based on all of the like hints going on there. So he's not there. I'm not sure what they're doing with like Jungle Boy there. So I guess we'll see, but I think though, one thing is definitely for sure, he is not losing that title anytime soon. How do you feel about the match, man?
I think it was exactly what it needed to be. Alfredo, Vego, Fanta, fire, Spanish for fire.
Fuego.
I know, I'm just messing with you. Got some early like surprised them, got them off balance, but eventually, like you said, Miro catches him off the top rope and rest in peace.
Yeah.
So it was what you needed to do.
And then after the match, we saw Tony Khan kind of come out, and he offers Hell Fuego a contract with Sammy there.
A lot of people were upset that they didn't follow through on the stip.
Yeah,
it's like he lost no contract. Yeah, I would have, if you were going to do that, I would have waited a little bit, because it's just like, nothing that didn't matter. But besides that, that's the nitpick there. Match was needed to be what it needed to be.
Yeah. So El Fuego, he's now all elite there. So congratulations to him. And then obviously we move on to the main event for the AEW Women's Championship between Dr. Baker DMD versus Red Velvet. This was okay. I wouldn't say that it was anything special, but that crowd was really hyped to say the least. So I feel like that was more the crowd lifted it up for like that reason. Yeah. but just strictly for the match itself, it was okay.
It was a decent match.
And
they did good.
And after the match, Britt wins, and she's beating up on like Velvet and Chris Statlander attacks like Britt Baker, and only to have someone else come down and then save Britt. And I'm asking myself, who in the hell is this?
A lot of people thought it was
Becky Lynch.
I
freaking lost it when I read that.
Well, could you imagine?
Oh my god! I would have. At first, I would have laughed. Second of all, that would have been really damn cool. But no, it's
Adam Cole and Drag.
Yeah, Adam Cole and Drag. It was actually Jamie Hayter who actually faced Britt Baker on the first Dynamite in like Pittsburgh back in 2019. So now she's going to be aligning herself with like Britt as like her muscle essentially. So yeah, and they also confirmed after the show as well, Jamie Hayter, she is also officially signed. So yeah, we're going to be seeing her for the foreseeable future. So yeah, guys, really fun week for us. We would definitely plan on going again for sure. Yeah, so just a really fun time for that. And Matt, before all that, we also had some huge news as well, and some pretty unfortunate news with the NXT side of things, and the massive cuts to
massive changes coming.
Yeah, massive changes coming. So it was last Friday night, and we had, of course, every time that we have something recorded, something big always happens. Always happens, I swear. So
basically what you're saying, after we stop this, something's gonna
right. It was basically, I think it was like an hour after I got home. I'm like, hey, are you seeing this? And you're like, yep, I'm reading it right now.
I remember that because it was like, now I am, because there was like, I wasn't on Twitter at the time, because you see what's happening with NXT. I was like, oh boy.
Yeah. So basically
a lot of surprises.
So basically 13 cuts in total, which some of the names were pretty surprising. Bronson Reed, which that completely floored me.
Okay. Before we continue,
yeah,
the whole premise of this change was needing the basics of needing bigger guys, development, younger. How old is Bronson Reed?
He's going to be 33 soon.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. But still, bigger guys to be stars. Bronson Reed.
I don't know how you can't create cash with him.
I guess it's because he's in his 30s.
I get it, but it's just like you mean to tell me you can't do something with that guy? Like it just that freaking disappointing.
The Mercedes is the other one. Martinez.
Yeah,
she's older.
Yeah.
But she's
40 now.
40. Okay, they're gonna cut it.
Yep.
Bobby Fish is older.
44.
Yeah. Leon Ruff, size.
Yep. Size. Samara.
Jake Atlas.
That to me.
That is surprising.
That was surprising to me, because to me, he has something.
You can work off of. Say I don't want to like. He probably doesn't want to do that. I don't want to like monetize his orientation, but like you might not have to do it on a TV, but like outside.
Yeah, I mean, like I just and like besides that, it's like he's just a really good professional wrestler. On top of that,
maybe I want to say a little green, yellow, but like there's some like I don't know how old he is, but you can, yeah. He has to be like 30.
Only 26 years old.
Okay, then somebody doesn't see anything.
That kid is young, and man, he won't have any problems finding
work. No,
I'm like finding work. And to be honest, most of these people who are cut aren't going to have problems finding work, whether it's like Impact,
Bobby Fish might go back, make Ring of Honor.
Yeah, I think so too.
Mercedes is already fighting for Impact Women's title. She's already like at a first event. She's already got work. Bronson Reed had that cryptic tweet about Miro.
Yeah, which I would love to see that there. But like, you know, it's just like there's so many options out, and now I think, and I definitely think now what you're seeing is wrestling is going to be changing, and for NXT specifically,
if you believe every detail about the power struggle back there,
it's just, and from all accounts is like pretty much after take over 36, Triple H is pretty much. Yeah,
If-
I'm not sure.
He's in charge, but
No.
but directives.
Yeah, exactly. He's not gonna have full, complete control of it.
I think it's like, okay, we need younger talent we can mold
right.
instead of pulling people from already established and older enough.
And the problem with NXT has always been their show is so different from both Raw and SmackDown, and like pretty much when anyone would get called up, it just they would completely change them or make a slight tweak that just really wasn't the same as what it was in NXT. I mean, like hell, whether it went from guys to like Sami Zayn, your boys of the Ascension who were super over in NXT and just they got killed on the main roster.
I don't know how you don't. I don't
like they never
because they try to make them the road warriors again,
right.
But they were to me they were money. They had this. They had
FTR too. Like they were great in NXT, but they really never found that same mark that they did in NXT when they got called up.
FTR.
Yeah.
Well, that was their fault was being a tag team.
Yeah, and that was in which marked one of the
if they were on
that they left there.
Yeah, if they were on. See, I don't want to. Maybe not. I think if they were like on SmackDown now, it would be slightly better.
Mm-hmm.
But back then, no.
Right.
Because they were on Raw. But like now, I always say to have somewhat of a chance right now, SmackDown is your best bet for whatever reason. Whoever the powers that are working it, it's overall more consistent than what's on Monday nights.
Yeah, but they also do have some of the same issues as Raw does too. And the number one issue is right now all these shows feel the exact same every single week. We see the same matches, with the same segments, with the same formula. But like I could go 3 or 4 months
I get okay. Anyways, true, and there's points, but even though to me, still SmackDown feels stuff actually tries is actually. I actually give a crap about most of the stuff there, even if it is repeating sometimes. But like, I don't know. It just seems like more stuff actually happens in a positive way, like instead of Raw. The storylines basically from SmackDown to Raw overall are way better than, let's say, you didn't text me, so I'm going to fight you. I have a sword.
Yeah,
I saw that when I was like, okay. I saw because I wasn't watching. Like, okay, Jinder and Drew. Okay, I can take that built right. There's history there. And I was seeing on Twitter about text messages, and I went,
yeah, that feud literally started because of a text, which is just so silly and so stupid.
I went, why?
So
I want to like you.
Yeah,
for being stupid.
Yeah, it's just it was just really bad. So
that stuff I can't defend.
No, and no one should even try to defend that, which is why I don't even bother to give them.
I watched it. I with my girlfriend for a little bit just to see what she would say, Raw that is. And the one thing of note was she called Matt Riddle, was it Shaun White, the snowboard?
Yeah, I remember you talking.
Which is funny. Just like, anywho, NXT. I'll get mad.
Yeah. So you just got. I mean, like you just gotta wonder what's going to happen now because and from all indications, cuts are not going to be stopping here. So
I'm still surprising the viewership. Well, that was before the news, right? Was somewhat higher. I thought it would be
the week prior they were on like sci-fi because of the
That's right. Was this the last week, the first week back? Okay.
First week back, yeah.
Okay.
So
I'm interested. Well, I'm interested to see what happens basically after Takeover, after SummerSlam weekend.
I think it's going to see a jump because I think people are going to be curious on what's
true. Okay,
on what it's going to actually look like. And to me, like this is just Vince and like Nick Khan just putting a like end to the NXT of like how we knew it as, and with the amount of cuts that they have been doing, I mean, you have to wonder for guys such as Gargano and Ciampa, if they're gonna be on the chopping block next too, because
all people will be.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they for sure will be, man. But it's like
unless they say talk and be like, listen, I like it. I love it here. You don't have to call me up. Just keep me here. I'll wrestle whoever. I'll put people over for you.
Which is basically what Ciampa has been doing.
Yeah, but it's like we'll work with the younger people, but you don't have to call me up and have to change me.
Mm-hmm.
I'll stay down here. I'm fine with it.
Right.
Unless they do that, I mean, I don't know what the thing. I don't know.
And two, something I was thinking about too is this going to be not just affecting males, but also like female?
Well, we saw Mercedes.
We saw her gone, which she was really the only one. But you're seeing like people such as Tony Storm. She was called up, and Tegan Knox and Shotzi, they were called up.
Aaliyah is not official, but she's there.
And you know they have a ton of talent down there, who are former indie wrestlers. I just wonder if that whole thing is going to change too.
I don't know if I think it's more. I don't know if it's more indie, more young in size.
It could be a combination of both too. So I mean, like it's going to be a really fair question. And man, like there's gonna be a whole bunch of people who are going to be like free agents, and for these other companies, man, there's no reason why you should not be signing some of these people.
Oh no, I mean, it's almost a given,
right? Like Impact to me is going to be a great beneficiary of a ton of these people too, because
they need to get people
right.
AEW doesn't need any more right now, because you're just signing a ton of people,
especially too with like Punk and Danielson coming in. Like they should not be signing anyone. The only people I want to see them sign are
women.
Yes.
Women's
wrestlers, which supposedly Ruby Riott is essentially a like lock to sign, because I believe her 90 days are up in a like week or two here. So like she'll be coming in there, and that's the one thing with that company they really need to improve there. So
from day one, and
right, and
slowly
is getting there, but they have a long way to go there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and I just realized too, Takeover is a like week from Sunday. So
SummerSlam weekend,
and SummerSlam is like next week, and also Rampage live from the UC, which we all assume is going to be the like debut of CM Punk, which that is going to be freaking insane. So a lot of stuff is going to be happening here in the next few weeks here.
The 3-day weekend there.
Yeah, so a lot of wrestling.
I want the world burn part of me, him not to show up just to see that reaction. Nothing.
Yeah, like I have a few friends who are still saying, man, like he's not gonna show up. I'm like, dude, Tony Khan literally went on like Bust Open and basically said everyone knows what to expect, and he just left it at that. I'm like, it's basically saying Punk is it going to be there without actually saying that CM Punk.
Yeah, I mean that 0.1% chance he's not there.
Right, and like it just like he's going to be there. So I'm pretty confident in that. So really excited about that, and now we're going to transition into some football talk, Matt. And before we get into the Steelers preseason game against the Eagles, they made a big trade with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Tony Khan's squad over there.
Yeah, he was in town.
He was
That's right.
He was in town talking
to Cobra.
Yeah, talking with
what didn't you crap if he did eventually something we don't know.
Uncle TK, man, he's glad
Does he run the team or does his dad run the team?
No, he's like a executive, but I'm not sure what his role is. I think he runs their he runs their analytics or something there. So but basically
that's just funny and happening in town.
Right. So
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. So the Steelers acquired inside linebacker Joe Schobert from the Jacksonville Jaguars for just a 6th-round pick, which to me is a flat out steal by Kevin Colbert. And yes, his contract is pretty hefty, but pretty much, Matt, this is like a 1-year deal essentially because after 2021, his guaranteed dollars are completely gone after that. So you know we're sitting pretty good with that there, and I would imagine that they're probably are going to like restructure that at some point there. So that'll be interesting to see. But man, like he fills a really big need at inside linebacker, especially in like pass coverage. I mean, just like seeing Robert Spillane trying to cover people has been rough, and from all accounts in camp, he hasn't had a very good camp on top of that. So you knew that Colbert was going to be doing something before the season started, and man, I mean, like a linebacking core with Alex Highsmith, Joe Schobert, Devin Bush, and TJ Watt sounds pretty damn good to me right there.
Yeah, so he's signed through 2024. But with his cap hit goes up every year to
but if like you look at that like dead cap after the season, nothing. So basically they can cut him and they won't owe him
that's fair point.
A single dime there. So really, like it's pretty much a low risk high reward here for the Steelers here, and this was going around during the game on Thursday, and everyone was really hyped about it. They're like, damn, like Jacksonville is just giving us Schobert. I mean, the guy is a tackling machine. Not to mention, really smart player, a leader. He offers this team a lot there, and I'm really excited to see how he's going to fit in. I feel like, you put him with that front seven, he's going to shine. And with this front seven, like, I mean, I'm not sure if there's too many front sevens who have it better than and the Steelers right now, they're so loaded on that part of their defense. The only issues I see on defense is in the secondary, more specifically at a corner. Can they hold up enough? But his pass rush is going to be so damn good that it's going to be hard for a lot of teams to go up against them, and especially with TJ and like Highsmith on the edges there. Like, I'm feeling pretty damn good about that there. And man, like, just seeing the whole Twitter reaction, and more specifically with Cleveland fans were saying, "Oh, like he's washed," blah blah blah, which I kind of expected. But I mean, from all accounts, it seems like this wasn't more of a like production move, more as basically Urban Meyer wanted his like his like home guys in there, and he wanted his contract off of their like books there. So so for the game in general, so definitely first quarter and first half in general, not very sharp, to put it like nicely. Offensive line looked, first team offensive line looked really bad, especially Chooks, and a Coward there. Like, they, whether it was penalties or just they were just getting their asses kicked up front, it was not a very good day. And even in the secondary too, Cam Sutton was really struggling. Like, he nearly gave up a touchdown on the second series there, which, if that ball wasn't overthrown by Jalen Hurts, that would have been an easy touchdown there. So not exactly sharp there, but then once by the end of the second quarter, going into the second half, Haskins, man, by far a better performance for sure. I think it's still a question if he's going to be the actual backup, because I think that the Steelers still value Mason as a backup, but I do feel like with Haskins, he offers way more upside than what like Mason has. What did you think about that?
Yeah, from what I remember, it just seems like always. I think Mason overall numbers look good, but drive stall out. No, I don't know if it's the personnel or what have you, preseason or play calling with that. But Dwayne still looks good. Still a little things to work out. But I like the potential too. With oh my god, third Dobbs.
Yeah.
I don't. He gives you flexibility of speed and stuff with his movement. I don't know. I really don't know what they're going to do, and I can guarantee you, no matter what they do, there's going to be an outcry of outrage. How dare you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty confident saying, like, regardless, I'm like Josh Dobbs. He's going to be the odd man out, probably, here, because I mean, like, I think it's pretty obvious both like Mason and Haskins are better options. Although I would not put it past the Steelers to possibly trade like Mason, because as we are seeing around the NFL, guys are getting hurt. So maybe someone just wants another quarterback, and on top of that, he is signed for another season, so you don't have to so like you aren't getting him just for 2021, also getting him for 2022 as well. So I could also see that happening, but it's going to really depend on what games 3 and 4 are going to be. And Tomlin also announced after the game, Ben is going to be starting next Saturday against the Detroit Lions.
That's what I want to see, the first Ben there.
Offense,
first offense, like as complete as we can have it.
Yeah.
And same thing with the defense.
Right. And speaking of that first team offense, my hope is for this offense line, like Chooks should not be starting right now. And I get it, he's been hurt and everything, but man, if he doesn't start to show something, I would take a chance on like Dan Moore at like left tackle, because to me, you just can't have that big of a like liability at left tackle. And man, I think he had at least 2 penalties. Dotson too. He's going to be starting. Like especially if you saw Coward play, and man, he did not have a good game at all. Whereas Dodson just freaking just annihilated his competition. And like granted, it was against like second and third teamers, but he was just dominating those guys there. So I'm hoping for that, and obviously I'm Kareem at center. I'm a Trey Turner like right guard, and Zach Banner would be at the like right tackle spot there. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how everything is going to kind of like pan out there. But yeah, that's pretty much all I had, Matt. I think you had wanted to say something else before we sign off here.
Yes, the announcement here, a channel update. It's basically official without being official. I am taking a new job, teaching job. Once middle of next week comes, everything should hopefully dot the I's across the T's here. So with that, I know there's going to be a lot of work that needs to be done in preparation for each day. And we're talking to John. I don't know how much free time I will to do this. I know it's only in an hour, but with having to probably find, because it's an hour and a half away, maybe find a place closer. I don't know if doing this iteration of the podcast would be feasible at this time. So we're essentially a long hiatus with this iteration. This will probably be the last episode of this. But John had some ideas for him to do some stuff on his own on the channel. At this time, I don't think he has a firm idea of what's happening, but he would like to.
Yeah, I'm gonna be doing something, whether it's dealing with wrestling or something. I haven't really thought of exactly what I'm gonna do, but definitely want to continue and putting out some content every single week. I'll be updating you guys as far as that is concerned there. But yeah, like I had a feeling once like Matt got this job that things could possibly be changing. And like we will be doing shows here and there, but not exactly sure when again. So probably for the time being, we're just gonna announce this. And
I didn't want to commit to anything, because I'm pretty much going into the known but unknown of this next job. So I don't want to commit to anything and be like, well, I can't do it because I have all this to do. Right. So we'll see. Yeah. So for the time being, this will be the last episode for a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, and guys, just keep on following us on Twitter. I'm constantly over there, so
That's where we're going to be most active.
yeah,
over
yeah,
there.
yeah. I'm gonna try and put out some content every week, but like mainly find us over there constantly during either like Dynamite and obviously Rampage, and definitely am gonna be over there for as what we were talking next weekend with SummerSlam and Takeover and all of that stuff. So I'm not sure if I'm going to put out a video for a SummerSlam review on Saturday and possibly on Takeover for Sunday next week. I'm going to decide how I feel by then. But yeah, Matt, you want to close us out here?
Yep. So with that news, we'd like to appreciate everybody for watching, and thank you for watching. Any likes, the comments, the subscribers, and all that. The same thing. Everybody who's watched the past 97 episodes up through now, thank you. Everybody who's followed us on Twitter, thank you. Again, we'll keep you updated. Please follow. You see the Twitter handle, the bottom left-hand corner there at MJ Mega Podcast. That's where you're going to see most of the updates, if not all the updates. So yeah. So for John over there, I'm Matt. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you sometime in the future.